This file is made possible by the support of my wonderful patrons. Thank you so much. Hello and welcome. I'm MrSnake and you are amazing. The usual caveats apply. Do not listen when driving, operating heavy machinery, or if you need to focus your attention on something. Only listen when it's safe and appropriate to do so. And with all that out of the way, let's get to it. Now then, I'm pretty sure that being such a good subject as you are, you'll have read the description of the file. You'll have seen the title of the file and it'll have piqued your interest somewhat. Maybe a part of you became absorbed and fascinated with what could happen, how you might feel. Maybe there's been that build-up of anticipation that just gets you in the right frame of mind to really sleep deep for me in this trance. That's right. And you know, we all like to get praise from time to time. Some of us more than others, some of us less than others. But everybody likes to get praise at some point or another. And this is a trance where you're going to receive a lot of praise. So if you do have a praise kink, this file really is for you. There's a good subject. And you might find yourself starting to slip down into trance, even as I speak. And you might hear my voice coming from the left, or you might hear my voice coming from the right. Maybe you'll hear my voice in two different ways at the exact same time. Who knows? But I know that because you're such a good subject, and you really are a good subject, you've probably already started the anticipation or expectation to just start to sink down into trance for me. It may be that you've noticed physical sensations in your body. Maybe your hands started feeling heavier. Maybe your feet started feeling heavier. Maybe you're sinking down into the bed or the surface you're resting on. Because you are such a good subject, it may be that your eyes were already closed before you even started listening to me today. And if your eyes have already closed, that's good. And if they haven't, I'm pretty sure that they will very soon. Because even just mentioning them has probably made some people out there close their eyes. And the great thing about working with people who are amazingly good subjects like yourself is that they take suggestions on board and follow them wonderfully. They really become absorbed and fascinated in trance. They become absorbed and fascinated with what it feels like to be in trance. And because you're such a good subject, you already know how to become absorbed and fascinated in trance. And maybe you don't know how or why you become so absorbed, but you do. Maybe you don't understand the intricate processes of going into hypnosis, but you do understand what it feels like. Because you're such a good subject, you find sinking down into trance and going deep into hypnosis is so easy for you. And because you're such a good subject for me, well, it probably is the case where anything I say you just take on board. If I mention how your legs are starting to sink down into the bed or surface you're resting upon, you will experience that sensation. That heaviness of a limb that just weighs you down into the bed or surface you're lying upon. If I mention how your back muscles start to become loose, limp and relaxed and sink down, that's exactly what happens. Because you're such a good subject, those muscles in your back, they just really do become loose and limp and relaxed. And you've really noticed how they start to sink down into the bed or the surface you're resting upon. And you know I love it when you submit. To me, there's nothing more beautiful than seeing you go into trance for me. I love the way that you drop so quickly and so deeply for me. That's right, good subject. It's incredibly empowering for me as a hypnotist to know that you drop so quickly, so deeply for me. And how every trance just seems to go deeper and deeper. And that's why I adore trancing you, because you're such a good subject. And I have to say I really enjoy, in fact I love, the idea, the mental image of you lying there, deeper and deeper in trance for me. That's right. Imagining you just laying there, allowing my words to wash over you like waves on a beach. Seeing your face, your features in repose as you relax deeper and deeper. Being obedient, being a good submissive subject. Oh, I love that image, that idea. And I just want you to know right now that I'm so proud you're doing such a good job. You're being such a good subject. You're following all of my instructions, obeying all of my suggestions, and allowing this process to happen naturally, easily, and intuitively, with little effort whatsoever. It just happens because you have this innate skill and talent at being a subject. And it may be that you've worked hard at it over the years, that you've accumulated experience, but part of it also is just because you have this inbuilt intelligence and instinct on how to be a good subject. It comes naturally, effortlessly to you. And those are just some of the reasons that you're such a good hypnotic subject. That's why you go into trance so damn easily, and so amazingly deeply, and so fast. You go into trance for me so very fast, and I adore that. I mean, I could do a countdown from 10 down to 0. And you could find that each number brings you deeper into trance. And being a good subject, that'll happen very, very easily for you. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0, all the way down. Good subject. And another bonus with being a good subject is that you know that at any time you can come out of trance if you have to, if you need to. But knowing that you don't, you can just continue this trance. You can continue being such a good subject for me. Being such a good subject that each word just seems to take you deeper and deeper into trance. Good subjects notice things, and good subjects notice noticing things. Good subjects become aware of how their body feels, the rhythm of their breathing, the gentle rise and fall of your chest that happens all by itself. And good subjects don't have to think or say, speak or do anything. Good subjects just let the trance happen in a way that's right, safe, and appropriate for you. You are a very good subject. You really are. And because you're such a good subject, if I started counting down from 10 down to 0, one more time, you know that you're going to be amazed with just how deep you go, how good you'll feel. Because good subjects go deeper. And you are a good subject. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Even deeper than before. As deep as you can possibly go. Good subject. That's right. Good subject. You're doing so well. Good subject. And I'm so proud of you for going so deep. Good subject. Into trance. Good for subject. Me. Good subject. And it may be that every time I use the phrase good subject, every time I call you good subject, you find a wonderful sense of well-being and pride. Just takes over your mind and body. Gives you a real thrill, which means that it reinforces your natural capabilities and talents as a subject to go so incredibly deep for me. Like a good subject should. And remember, there are no such things as bad subjects, only bad hypnotists. You have shown already an amazing capacity and ability to surrender to the hypnotic experience like a good subject should. And because you are such a good subject, because I enjoy trancing you so much, you take great pride in being a good subject. Right now you can bask and radiate in that feeling of well-being, in that sense of calm, of peace, of joy, whichever good emotion is right for you right now. Such a good subject, dropping deeper, sinking, falling, becoming so deep in trance, so wrapped up in those wonderful feel-good hormones that the brain produces during trance, during hypnosis. And because you're such a good subject, you might find your brain, your mind produces even more of those. The dopamine, the serotonin, all of those wonderful feel-good hormones. Natural, easy, good subject. And you know, it takes a certain trust, it takes a certain strength of character to be able to submit and go into trance, and you have that in droves. You have an amazing strength of character. And I adore you for going into trance deep for me. I adore the way you trust me to look after you when you're in trance. And I don't know if you've ever thought about it, but have you ever thought about how much joy and pleasure you've brought to hypnotists? And when you think about that, it's amazing, isn't it? Each trance you've gone into has brought pleasure and joy for someone else. Because you're such a good subject. And I want you to know that every time you've gone into trance for me, you've brought me pleasure and joy. And so I thank you for that. And my way of thanking you for that is to say, good subject. That's right. let those wonderful feelings of well-being spread through your body every time I call you a good subject. And you are. You really are. Such a good subject for me. And those feelings of pride and well-being, of self-esteem, they can carry through to your vanilla life, to your everyday life. You can take that feeling of well-being, of calmness, of relaxation, of self-worth, and find that it makes you more productive, and that it can actually lead to more peaceful, more contented times, because you're such a good subject. And because you're doing such a good job, we're going to have one last countdown. It's going to take you incredibly deep. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All the way down, feeling so good. And you can just take the next few moments to savor this experience, becoming absorbed and fascinated with the experience of the trance you're experiencing right now. So deep that you're hypnotized becomes hypnotized. Just luxuriating simply in the moment, in the here and now, in those feelings of well-being from being such a good subject. Like a feather in the wind, like smoke in the air, like waves on a beach, just going where they will go, moving to where they'll move to. They don't think, say, or do anything. They just be in the present, in the here and the now. Now, in a few moments, I'm going to count from 1 up to 5. And when I reach 5, you're going to come out of trance feeling amazingly calm and relaxed. And that relaxation, that calmness can stay with you today, tomorrow, for the rest of the week. Because you've been such a good subject for me. 1, beginning to come out of trance. 2, freed of any suggestions that aren't right or appropriate for you. 3, you may want to wiggle your fingers and your toes. 4, you may want to stretch and yawn, becoming more alert, coming out of trance. And 5, opening your eyes, feeling wonderfully calm and relaxed, knowing that you're such a good subject.